Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host. Yeah, I know you lot all doing well, mate. I really do like that. Welcome back. Oh, I've lost focus. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series. Here, of course, on Football Therapy, where I go across the media, see what's being said about the Blues, giving you my opinion on it, but of course, more importantly, asking for yours. Updates. There's a lot of videos like this coming out on on this channel at the moment. There's a lot of updates coming out, so make sure you're locked in, subscribed with the bell notifications icon clicked, because every day there's developments regarding Lukaku, Kounde, who knows, maybe other transfer targets, exits from the Chelsea squad. Yes, indeed. I'd quickly want to touch on Lionel Messi. I briefly uploaded a video on him on the channel yesterday, but I decided to remove it because I had done one on my other channel, and it was a little bit tongue-in-cheek about Lionel Messi potentially joining Chelsea at 18-1. There's loads of silly season nonsense going around Twitter about Messi at the moment. The truth is, Chelsea would not be able to afford his wages, and it would really only be Roman Abramovich that would push that move. Because he used to be obsessed with Messi, apparently, and tried to bring him back like he was ever here. Tried to bring him to Chelsea back in the day. So, no Lionel Messi, I don't think. I think he's likely to go to PSG or Man City. Should he go to Man City, it would be devastating for City's rivals. I will be talking more about them on Football Yannick. I also want to talk about reports about Grealish's astronomical wages. So there's a link in the description for Football Yannick. Go click it, and you can go watch all that excellent, hopefully excellent, content regarding everything else that's happening in the mental world of football at the moment. Oh la la, but we're going to start and talk about Romelu Lukaku, and then I'm going to talk about Jules Kounde a little bit. Oh, okay, so where's that gone? Bang, there it is. Fabrizio Romano on Romelu Lukaku. We're going to start with what scared everyone yesterday with the Inter Ultras putting up this banner that obviously said, board pay attention, promises should be kept, and everyone started freaking out that this deal wasn't going to happen. But the truth is, this came from Gazzetta. Gazzetta is a Milan-based publication, I'm reliably informed. Therefore, it's a bit of like sort of trash media attempts to try and keep Lukaku at Milan, or Inter rather. Dan McCarthy, Macca Sport, nice guy, seemingly well informed when it comes to behind the scenes Chelsea stuff, did offer this, and bearing in mind he's been right about a lot of stuff, Dan, so it's important to say. Lukaku update: was just assured that Chelsea is still confident a deal will be done and are continuing to push the deal to be completed as soon as possible, despite the rumours in the Italian media, as you were for now. So the God, Gazzetta is like the Sun, apparently. Do you know what I mean? They like saw a big sensational story. They know this would be probably an English record transfer, maybe, but also I've reported recently that he could cost less than what Jack Grealish cost Manchester City. Less than £100 million. So that would be very, very good, of course. And Fabrizio Romano tweeted out, what time? Yesterday evening, quite late, 10:24 p.m. Excuse me, hay fever. Lukaku's agent, Federico Pastorello, quote, "You'll be able to listen to our reasons soon. However this turns out." Interesting. Reportedly, Pastorello was actually pushing Lukaku to Chelsea. So maybe there is something in the sort of ruminations over the deal by the ownership. Possibly. Then Fabrizio says, Chelsea will have new direct talks with Interboard tomorrow, preparing the new official bid, Lukaku. So Chelsea actually haven't submitted this next bid yet. That's the next step. So nothing's actually changed in between, apart from the apart from these rumours, essentially, from the Italian media, which at the moment I wouldn't, give much energy to. So there is another big bid to come in, and I think at this point, what I think, speculating here, will be quite an important element to this deal is Lukaku himself. I think he's accepted the terms and the idea of 250k a week at Chelsea, the great return, the narrative, and once you plant an idea in your head, it's hard to get rid of, especially when you consider Chelsea being the champions of Europe. Sure, Inter are the champions of Italy, but are they going to be able to retain that title? Remember, Juve have changed their coach now to be powerful again. Cristiano Ronaldo is staying at Juve. Inter, even I think if Lukaku does like the new coach, Simone Inzaghi, he loved Antonio Conte, he was gone. And if he stays, not only Achraf Hakimi will be gone, it's likely that his strike partner, Lautaro Martinez, will also go. And there were reports suggesting he will make his decision based on where he thinks he can win more trophies. Now, based on all those elements, you'd think it'd have to be Chelsea. It's beyond a safe bet to say Chelsea. Even if there'd be a slight worrying concern that a certain Lionel Messi pops up at Man City to join the already Premier League champions. We'll see what happens there. I'm really, really mind blown about the Messi deal. I'm so intrigued to see how that goes. Now, I'm not starting anything for the Kounde deal. I just want to talk about what I've heard and what I've read and what I've seen. So obviously, the Straight Out of Cobham podcast by The Athletic's very good. I recommend it. It's got Matt Davis-Adams hosting, but it's got Dominic Fifield, Liam Twomey, and Simon Johnson all as like pundits, or as like the panel, whatever, the sort of co-hosts, if you will, talking about Chelsea, who will all have their own links to Chelsea Football Club as athletic journalists, of course. Now, they were speaking about Jules Kounde and the Kurt Zouma situation, how Kurt Zouma has sort of stated how he would prefer to stay in London and does not want to be part of the make-weight deal to Sevilla for Jules Kounde, how he's, pleased with living in London, family and stuff, and although there was also reports suggesting he is turned down West Ham, so I wonder what's going on inside Zouma's head at the moment. But excuse me again, Simon Johnson has spoken about how he has been reliably informed by his contacts that regardless of what happens with Kurt Zouma, Chelsea, I think his words were, will get Zouma over the line. Zouma will get Kounde over the line. They will sign him regardless. Even if they still have Kurt Zouma in the squad, they're working on negotiations to get Jules Kounde, even if it's just straight cash, and they want to get the best deal possible, and that's what's happening with negotiations right now. But, it would be naive of me to try and confirm this, because even if Simon Johnson sounded that confident, which he did, by the way, he was like, yeah, it sounds like they're just going to get this done regardless. A lot of things can change. But, Chelsea have got a lot of money to spend. We know this. Jules Kounde is absolutely a Thomas Tuchel target. We know this. And Chelsea have got the money to buy him. So you can imagine a deal will be struck. Think about the signings that we made last summer that we knew about for a while. They might have come out of nowhere initially, like, Kounde did, bang. And we knew about them for a while. But they did take some time to negotiate because Chelsea wanted to absolutely test the waters, push as hard as they can to achieve the best deal that they possibly can. And that's absolutely the prerogative of Chelsea chief negotiator Marina Granovskaya. So that's what was going on with Jules Kounde. You'd kind of like, as things stand, subject to change, you would put the farm on Chelsea signing Jules Kounde this summer, this month. The fact how he's not an emergency signing that needs to be dropped in for the start of the season is probably a positive. How Chelsea have absolutely, with their immaculate defensive record anyway, they can play without him for a while, and he could be a last minute signing and then have plenty of time to integrate, into the window. It's not one of these signings where you sold someone and you need to replace them and you get them on deadline day and they're not ready for ages to be integrated for a starting Premier League game. It's not the case. Chelsea have got a really good defence, and it's just a case of getting him in the window. And yes, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Regarding the good defence, just because you've bought a new defender doesn't mean you're trying to shore up the defence. The 11 on the pitch, especially in a high-octane, pressing, high-possession game like Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, defenders can bring so much more in the, like, you know, functionally going forwards in the midfield, transitionally, systemically. So it's not all about keeping the ball out of your own net, it's about everything else. And I think seemingly that's what we can assume what Jules Kounde is all about, as an excellent ball playing midfielder who's obviously very good at pressures, pressing, and, you know, all forms of passing. So that's the deal with Jules Kounde. With Lukaku, we'll have to see what happens. This bid that you know, it's actually good that perhaps this next bid hasn't been put in yet, because perhaps you'd hear more information. Remember, if the bid goes in, it might just get accepted and the news might get leaked, and then, you know, Fabrizio Romano might tweet, you know, here we go soon. Do you know what I mean? Before it's signed, because that's when the contract's signed. That's when he drops a here we go. But when the bid's been accepted, that's when he drops his here we go soon. Paperwork's to be signed. In his Italian broken English. So yeah, I think it's positive generally. I wouldn't get gassed on Lionel Messi to Chelsea personally. I don't think that's going to happen. But it is a sensational story that I'm going to keep an eye on. So make sure you, like I said before, make sure you go subscribe to Football Yannick. Link in the description. I'm going to talk about Jack Grealish's sensational transfer, what City are doing in the market, what's happening with Harry Kane. God, imagine if they signed Messi, Harry Kane, and Jack Grealish all in one window. I will personally call up UEFA and send them around again. I'll be like, look, mate, they cannot be paid all these wages. This ain't right. Anyway, of course, as per usual, I'm really interested in all your thoughts and opinions on these stories. Let's start up a conversation down in the comment section. Get your comments down there. It helps me out a lot if you could drop a like on the video. Of course, it helps me in the dark abyss that is the YouTube algorithm and the nightmares that it brings. And of course, I'd urge you to consider subscribing if you're new to Football Therapy. Mate, every time a story drops, I'm going to do a video, so make sure you keep it locked here today. It's going to be exciting. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.